Hello everyone and welcome to the review of Blaser Primus 10x42 binoculars. This series was introduced in 2017, which is 2 years ago, and Primus binoculars were basically the first optical devices that Blaser launched. We all know that Blaser is otherwise a renowned European firearm manufacturer. All the optics from Blaser are made by German Sport Optics, which is frequently referred to as GSO. It was formed from Minox and Optronica. Optronica used to produce the excellent Premier Radicals rifle scopes, which are still known as one of the best ever made, even though they're no longer in production. And when Blaser first announced the release of their optical devices, which were, of course, the first ones were binoculars, most of the European optics manufacturers didn't think of them as serious competition until they checked them live themselves. So the main advantage of these binoculars is the use of Abbe Koenig prisms, which enhance the light transmission rate, and in this field Blaser is a very strong player. These binoculars are quite big, so they measure 184 millimeters in length, 144 millimeters in width, and they're around 58 millimeters high. They weigh 970 grams, which is more than much of its competition in the premium class. And as regards design, you can see that Blaser used a unique shade of brown for their Primus binoculars that mixes with black on several spots, and this color combination makes the binoculars look very elegant, and with them you are sure to stand out of the crowd. However, there are mixed opinions on the form factor of the binoculars. Some say it's great, while others claim that it doesn't give the impression that it is of the premium class. Opinions, of course, vary with everything. The shape of binoculars is not random, so it has to do with the prisms that I mentioned at the beginning of this review. So in the interior, the prisms used are Abbe Koenig, and this is a subcategory of a roof prism, but much harder to manufacture than the ordinary Schmidt & Pecken prism. There are not many manufacturers of optics who dare to manufacture these prisms, but in the recent years, some new manufacturers have started making them, such as Vortex, and I think that DD Optics also makes a model, and so on. Abbe Koenig prisms grant a far better light transmission rate than Schmidt & Pecken prisms, and they also contribute to the shape. So you can see that binoculars with these prisms are typically longer, such as this one, and also somewhat curved because of the use of these prisms. Other than that, the housing is ergonomic. There are thumb rests on the bottom, and it features a single hinge bridge. I think that an open bridge would be a nice add to this premium class binoculars. It would also contribute to easier handling and perhaps even lower weight. Magnesium housing is rubberized for a non-slip grip and protection against impacts. The strap is already mounted on the binoculars when you open the box, so you don't have to bother mounting it on yourself. At least this was the case with this particular model here. They have a particularly slow focus, so this is a really slow focus here, and I would say that this focus is much better for hunting application than it is, for example, bird watching. If you observe birds which tend to move from one distance to another quickly, then a fast focus is nice to have. But for hunting, where the change of position typically doesn't occur that rapidly, which is why slow focus is preferred by most. Blaser is, after all, a hunting-oriented company, so it is as clear as day that the primary field of use for these binoculars is hunting. The focusing knob is big enough to be easily controlled with a finger or even two. What about the eyepieces? Well, let's check them out. The eyepieces, well, at IWA 2017 in Nuremberg, so the prototypes exhibited had lower quality eye cups. Later, Blaser changed them and launched Primus binoculars with improved eye cups. They're still not perfect, but the improvement can be observed. I like the fact that they can be fixed in many positions to achieve the desired eye relief. What I don't like, and what I also know some others don't like, is that these eyepieces are quite narrow here on the top, let's say on the edges, which is why pressing the face against them is not as comfortable as it could be. This might not be an issue for everybody, but a couple of people in our team pointed this out. They're made in Germany. This is written here, but it's quite difficult to see. The diopter is on the right ocular here. It lacks a locking function. The field of view is 116 meters on 1000 meters, which is better than most of the competition in this price class. This is, for example, a little bit better than the field of view of Swarovski EL or Leica Noctivit with the same configuration, and a little bit less than Zeiss Victory SF. So 116 meters on 1000 meters is a nice field of view for a 10 times magnification and 42mm objective lens. The shortest focusing distance is 2 meters. This is really great. You can even observe flowers or maybe butterflies at very close range, and you'll see a lot of details there. It offers 18.3 millimeters of eye relief, and the binoculars are comfortable to use even if you wear glasses. This is a 10 times magnification binocular, so the 8 times magnification is also available on the market. The 8 times is more of a all-round binocular, whereas this version is more specific. It enables you to identify more details when observing the game. And for a mountain hunt, these are also a better choice, because distances to the observed animals are usually greater in the mountains. Apart from 8x42 and 10x42, Blaser also has the 8x56 in their offer, which is a Twilight Specialist, but even bigger and bulkier, and then the compact model 8x30, a compact version, which is much lighter and more for, I would say, hiking, traveling, and so on. So Blaser uses CCC, as they call it, on the lenses, and this abbreviation stands for Contrast and Color Corrective Coating. With it, they enhance the light transmission, high contrast of the images is assured, and the color fidelity is on a whole new level. So on the outer parts of the lenses, the SLP coating is used. This stands for Smart Lens Protection, and this coating repels water and dust, making the cleaning of the lenses much easier. We compared this binocular. Actually, we made several tests in which we compared them with Leica Noctivit and Zeiss Victory SF. And we found out that Noctivit and Victory provide a sharper image. Both central and edge sharpness is better on those binoculars, but in dusky environment they fall behind the Primus, and this has to be contributed to the use of Abbe Koenig prisms. As regards the scope of delivery, well, basically you get this fine binocular with objective lens covers made out of rubber and also ocular objective cover. It also comes on a strap with the Blaser written on it. What I particularly like is this really nice back that comes with the binocular. So even when you look at it, you can see that it complements the binoculars nicely. It is of high quality, so in here it is padded for protection. Also here you put the binoculars. Here is the place for some accessories if you wish to take them with you. Then you have the instruction manual. So here once again you can see the model range available. In here you have some instructions of how to set the eye cups correctly and how to set the diopter, how to put on the strap. here you also have the kind of a warranty card and the lens cloth, and it all comes in a big nice box that is perhaps even too big to show it to you, but here on the inside you can see that Blaser really paid attention to all the details. Opening the box is a real nice experience, and I think that it adds to the whole premium, I would say the premium touch of these binoculars. The warranty that Blaser grants for these is 10 years, and they're priced around 2,100 euros. The 8 times magnification and the 10 times magnification model with the 42mm objective lens are priced the same. I already pointed out that I touched the central and the edge sharpness, and they are great, but the edge sharpness is not as great as, let's say, on Zeiss Victory SF or Leica Noctivid. The main advantage of these is definitely low light performance, and low light performance is one of the key factors for hunting, and this is what Blaser of course focused on. Now let's go through some advantages and some disadvantages to wrap this thing up. So these binoculars' main strong point is of course performance in the dusk environment, where they outperform the competition in this price class. Thanks to the Abbe Koenig Prisms, the light transmission is on a whole new level. Then another great thing is the accessories that you get with these binoculars. This case in particular, it complements the binoculars nicely. Even the box in which the binocular comes is, I can say, beautiful, because with some manufacturers not much not much attention is paid to the box, but I would say that this is also a part of owning the binocular, a part of the whole experience. Optically, these are as befits a product with a price tag of over 2,000 euros. The image is high in contrast and the image is rich in colors. Field of view is very decent at 116 meters on 1000 meters, which is better than on Leica Noctivid and Swarovski EL. But what could have been better is definitely the eyepieces, which we can observe, of course, the moving the step forward from the prototypes, but these edges are still quite narrow and they're not as comfortable as they could be. Then also the central and edge sharpness, they're great, but I noticed that some of the competitive devices offer better sharpness, so there is still some room for improvement there. And last but not least, of course, the binoculars are quite long and heavier than the competition, but this of course is a price you pay when you use the Abbe Koenig Prisms. They could also use the open bridge instead of this single hinge design, and with it they would achieve easier handling and of course perhaps even lighter weight. Now to wrap this thing up in a sentence or two, even though that this is the first optical device introduced by Blaser, it surpassed when we tested it all our expectations. It is definitely a worthy competitor of other premium binoculars in this price class, such as Zeiss Victory SF, Leica Noctivid and Swarovski EL. If you're considering a purchase of binoculars from the premium class, you should give this one a try. I do think that you will not be disappointed, but make sure to test them also in the dusk environment, where they outperform the competition. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our other videos on premium binoculars, and see you next time. Bye!